Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pool here, bringing you another game of StarCraft 2. Today's match is going to be between REQSmigi, who I've actually never seen before, and who's that? That is myself, Pool. So, going to be a little bit awkward to cast a game of myself. I just don't know. I'm not sure if I won this one or lost it. No, I'm just kidding. I totally know the results, but I won't spoil it for you guys. I'll keep it a secret, as this was a really entertaining game. I mean, it was at least fun to play, and then everybody was talking about how entertaining it was. So, yeah, well, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Of course, this is a 6m1 high yield gas map. This is actually Crosspoint, which was made by Iron Man SC, the creator of Ohana, which is the Season 7 map. So, it's going to be obviously a really entertaining game, exciting game, and then the map is relatively sick. Just to go over the map a little bit, this is the main base here, just the main base, not the natural. And then you just go down your ramp a little bit, and there's your natural, which is relatively short distance there. And then, of course, there's another ramp that leads out to the rest of the map. So, pretty safe natural expansion to take. It definitely allows for CC first and Hatch first and I guess Nexus first or whatever. And now then the third, of course, is over here a little bit. So you actually go down the ramp out of your second or your natural and then move up another ramp into where your third would be. So it's a little bit vulnerable because you have to move your army from here to basically in between. You lose your high ground advantage, or you could just split them up, put someone high here, someone high here, which is actually not that big of a deal. And then there's also another entrance that is very flankable, so you kind of have to wall off his Terran, or just keep a good vision on the Zelnaga watchtowers, which are located on the left and right sides of the map. Basically in really excellent positions to spot drops, so if you can get good overlord spread as well as having control of those, you can shut down drops relatively easily. Okay, so it does look like Pool here is going for CC first. This is actually the build that I almost always 100% do, unless I want to do like just like some early pressure, and actually I think, yeah, I ended up losing that SCV there, so a little bit of a mistake on my part, and then of course I'm being forced to move down another CC, or SCV, not CC, to get rid of that drone. Eventually he does go away. Now Smigi here is getting his hatch first, and then of course getting his spawning pool. Doesn't need to worry about any aggression, obviously, because I am going CC first. And currently building 2 Raxes. Of course, I need to get those out just in case he decides to get some early Zerglings, which I actually don't know if he's going to or not. I haven't even seen his spawning pool. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that I'm going to be okay just for now. Alrighty, so it does look like Smigi took over my gas right there. That's kind of annoying. I like to get that gas, and he always does that when I play against him. It's a little bit aggravating, So it does look like we see 3 Raxes from Pool, so obviously I'm going to be going for some heavy bio play. Very mineral intensive, of course, because there are just 3 Raxes. And I think this is a pretty good strategy. Your opponent really can't get too much stuff, and the Marines are really strong in small numbers, so if you can take advantage of the fact that there's not going to be a huge army to deal with and micro really well, then you can use the strength of Marines against your opponent, and that's kind of the advantage that Terran has, as well as by having more orbital commands he will have more mules dropping down, which I don't know if that's an imbalance yet or not. I would say no, because you're still having to build like a bunch of CCs, so you're using a bunch of minerals for that, and then of course those mules will mine out the mineral patches pretty quickly because they're really small. But that will just kind of be up in the air. It does look like Smigi is getting his 3rd hatchery though, so that's almost about halfway finished, and he's actually getting that before Lair. So just boosting his economy. You can't really do too much off of 2 bases with the mineral patches like this. And for those of you who are still unfamiliar, or just now getting into the 6m1 high yield gas variant, just so you know, it is 6 mineral patches and 1 high yield gas, which basically means you get more gas per trip back. And then the minerals, you get the same amount of minerals as you normally would get, but there's only 6 patches, and of course they expire really quickly. So Smigi here doing an okay job with this creep spread. Probably could be doing a little bit better, but That's not too bad. And as you see here, I'm getting my command center because you just, like I said, you just cannot do cannot do very much off of 2 bases. It's just very difficult to make anything happen that's anything worthwhile. As you can see here, I just have like a handful of Marines, and that's off of having 2 bases. Typically about 7 minutes, you see a lot more units in this, but I feel like I was doing a pretty good job with my macro. I definitely got supply capped a few times, completely unnecessarily. And there's a Skype, whatever, hopefully that person doesn't call me, but it's no big deal. I'm sure it's just cynics trying to troll me or something. Anyways, so as you can see here, my command center is almost finished. I am getting combat shield as well as getting my E-bays up for upgrades, which I will very much need for my bio units now. I really just don't have any idea what the composition of my opponent is. He is building, I thought that might be a Spire. It's just Spire Crawler. He doesn't have any unit. Oh, there we go. There is a Spire. He just now put that down. That is his, actually, other than his spawning pool, that is actually his first unit, well, not unit producing, but unit producing enabling structure. I don't know what you would call it for Zig. Just his first thing, I guess. So I'm just kind of chilling with my Marines, which are a pretty safe unit to make. Of course, going over here to get rid of that Zergling, who's just going away on my CC, turning that into an orbital command. Now we're at 8:49. That's actually 9 minutes is pretty typical Mutalisk timing, so he's not varying too much from typical timings that you would see. Let's see if I've scanned him any. Yeah, that's kind of a mistake that I like to make. Not like to make, but accidentally make, is I don't really scan my Zerg opponent. So, I mean, if he's going for roaches, you know, I'm still going to go Marine Tank. If he's going for mutas, I'm still going to go Marine Tank. So I try not to waste too much and get the advantage with my army instead. But as you can see here, I'm just now dropping my tech lab down. I think that was a pretty big mistake on my part. I needed to get my tanks out a lot earlier. But obviously in this case it's not that big of a deal because my opponent's not being aggressive at all. However, he is morphing in, or I guess you'd call it morphing in, 11 Mutalisks while taking his 4th. That's almost completely finished. So if he can get that 4th up and running, as well as get those mutas out, he'll be in a pretty good position in this game. I obviously don't have any turrets up or anything, and so I'm kind of defenseless. Of course, Marines do a great job of warding off Mutalisks because they're so expensive. You just don't want to lose any mutas. As we can see here, there are 3 reactors and 2 tech labs. So getting a few Marauders to absorb any Baneling shots that might be coming in. He's just now getting his Baneling nest. Now we do see these Mutalisks coming down here though to obviously, like I said, do some harassment, and this is going to go straight. I don't know if going straight there is the best idea because my army could have been there. However, he is okay right now, and I am going to be moving my Marines over here to defend against these, as well as rallying some over to the natural. Now he's going for that medevac, and if he gets that medevac kill, it'll be really great. Of course, I do some decent micro there, keeping it alive for now. Of course, I probably should repair that. Don't know if I actually do that or not. Now my Marines are up where the Mutalisks are, and they're going to be pretty good at defending against this muta harassment for now. Now he's going for that reactor, and that once again is a great shot. Of course, he's not going to be able to get it. I do stim a handful of Marines to defend, and now I'm finally building turrets. So let's see what else he has. He's just going for Zergling. It's like Zergling, Baneling, Mutaling, Baneling. I don't know what the composition's called officially. Sorry, it's really freaking annoying for Marines and requires so much splitting, it's not even funny. So it does look like Pool is moving out here, and ooh, there we go, getting a good medevac shot there. And I don't know if it was actually worth it or not. He is a little bit ahead as far as resources lost go, and the fact that he's lost less than I. Of course, I'm getting supply capped so hard right here. I am actually up in supplies, so this is obviously as a result of my 3 bases versus his 4 bases, not investing as many into workers. Let's look at the workers. I actually have more, so that's kind of an interesting thing I'll have to analyze later. And ooh, Smigi losing a lot of units right here. Needed to group them up, and oh my god, this is so not good for Smigi. Oh, he just lost so many mutas. Of course, there are Banelings. If he can get good shots, that will be nice. I think he does have speed, though, so it's going to be really scary for me. Actually, don't know if he has speed or not. But it does look like I am going to be able to take out this hatchery. Will he be able to get in here and get a surround / good attack? It does look like he's actually going for a flank. No, he's actually going for a counter attack. So at this point in the game, I just figured I could just go ahead and push through and do lots of damage and win the game. But you know, as you can see here, there's no wall for my natural, and it actually leaves me so vulnerable. Right now I'm just rallying units to defend, but one marine at a time is just not going to do any good defense, as you can see here, and a lot of them are on move command, and I'm kind of worrying about this attack up here, which has managed to take out his third, but I'm also trying to worry about this. Some really great bailing shots there, taking out a ton of marines, and it does look like he's going to be able to take out the wall to my natural. Now what you can see here, I'm actually morphing this into a planetary fortress for defense, because I realize this is turning into a base trade, and oh my god, I need to move these SCVs out of here. So many SCVs going down right now. Meanwhile, I am doing a lot of damage up here. It looks like some really good bailing shots must have gone off against this army. As a matter of fact, they did, because I did watch it again. He ended up getting some really good shots that I just was not paying attention to the fight, and totally lost too many units right there. Now it does look like he's taken out so many SCVs, as we can see here. I have 30 still versus his 21, so it does look like I am ahead right now, though. Now the planetary fortress is going to do a good job of defending against all these ground units, and oh my god, marines on move command. I really feel like if I had moved my army back, that would have been such a wiser decision, and I'm going to cancel his level 1 upgrade by taking that out. Now splitting up these units one at a time to deal with these banelings, but I need all my army up here, and oh my god, some really good bailing shots going for the good groups of marines, and there's just not many marines left at all. Finally a tank comes up here, but so late, and wasting a couple banes on tanks. Now, like I said, as you can see, rather, I am rallying just so many marines to deal with these zerglings, but I just, it's so scary right now. He's done a great job with his attacks and keeping his units alive, as well as taking out my attacking units before they can group up. Let's look at the army tab here. It's actually incredibly even. That's so crazy. So the supplies are 61 to 55 right now. Of course, I have like I have 4 bases, and I'm actually gonna lose this one right there. So really unfortunate. I really lifted my structures off way too late. I feel like I should have just gone ahead and moved everything over, rallied my marines over to where this PF is, and just chilled out. Tried to expand again. Of course, we see the bases for our Zerg player. He has his natural still, which is actually not mined out, interestingly enough. He's got another base and another base, so he's actually got 3 bases, where I'm kind of stuck to 1, and which is obviously very oversaturated. Now this is the interesting point in the game where I'm just trying to figure out what to do. I've never been really in this exact situation before. I've done plenty of base trades. Most of the time, by the end of the attacks, the game is already decided. You don't really both survive on like 1 leg and half an arm, well, like we are right now. Because I will say that the Zerg is definitely in better position, because he does have bases to saturate, and like I said, I'm stuck on 1 now. Be nice to move my army out here, move this command center right here, but he does have creep, so I'm going to have to deal with that. It's going to take forever for that creep to go away, and I must say, it just seems like it takes way too long for creep to disappear after killing an overlord that has dropped creep everywhere. Like, let's just look. Okay, right now we're at 840. Okay, well, actually, let's look when I kill that overlord, and we'll count how many game seconds it takes to get rid of it. As you can see here, the supplies are 78 to 51. Our Zerg has taken the lead, so very scary for me. Moving up some marines to fend off these mutalisks who are going for my CC, and he almost loses 1 down to 30 HP right there. And here are a ton of Zerglings, and oh my god, Banelings. I'm gonna get rid of these marines so easily. I'm forced to run everything away, and he's just kind of like, haha, there's no way you can have this, you're screwed. And that's exactly how I am right now. I can't even use these SCVs for mining. Maybe I should have been doing like some long distance mining, now that I think about it. It does look like I'm moving out here. I need to make something happen. I need to somehow pull it out and get rid of all these things, but there's just so many Zerglings, so many Banelings, it's just not going to happen. I do have 1-1 upgrades versus a 0-0, but that, like I said, that's just not helping at all. Of course, this tank up here probably should be moved over to where that expansion is. But me making blunders because I'm just so confused, don't know what the heck to do with myself. Alright. We do see flyer attacks level 2, so actually his mutas are upgraded, and that's so scary. He does have 1 attack for his mutalisks, and of course he'll be able to just continue to gain the lead against me, as he's just got such a good spot right here that I can't imagine dealing with would be anywhere near possible for now. Now I am going for a drop kind of as a last ditch effort. I know they can't really attack into me quite yet. If I can make stuff happen with a drop, of course it's going to go right into the line of sight of this Xel'Naga watchtower, so big mistake by me right there. Should have gone through the middle. Eventually, because of his creep sped though, he would have been able to see it. Really good job there by our Zerg player, maintaining good control and vision of this map and just making me so angry. I felt like I was in such a good position, especially when I attacked, but something happened. I wasn't looking. I lost a ton of Marines, 2 Banelings, while I was trying to defend my base. It just completely crushed me, and now these Immutalists do manage to clean up each and every Marine that I do have, and there's just literally nothing I can do. I do have one last rally of Marines, and he's just going to commit to this attack. Meanwhile, my drop did absolutely nothing, as you can see here. It didn't kill a single thing, and was just completely blown up. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this cast. This is a preview of what the games are going to be like for our 6m1 high yield gas FRB tournament. If you guys haven't heard about it, be sure to check out the thread on Team Liquid, the $150 FRB Grand Tournament. Gonzi is going to be playing in it, Vile Illusion, a ton of really good players. So I hope you guys enjoyed this cast.